definitely not a pig farm.
Time to meet the man of the manor.
Ronald Schmidt, welcome.
Dexter Morgan versus Leon Prater. The fight fans never thought they would see. One is a legendary predator, the Bay Harbor Butcher himself. The other, a billionaire collector of killers who has already put a bullet in Angel Batista's back. When these two finally collide, who actually survives the showdown? That's the question we're about to answer. Because this is not just another killer versus victim scenario. Leon knows Dexter is coming for him. Dexter knows Leon has the resources to make the hunt harder than any he has faced before. One man has spent decades perfecting the art of killing. The other has spent billions surrounding himself with killers, trophies, and armed protection. So when the predator finally meets the collector, who walks away? Let's break it down. Dexter Morgan has always been built for the hunt. His dedication to physical training wasn't casual. He pushed his body with rigorous cardio, jiu-jitsu, and years of combat experience. When Oscar Prado attacked him with a knife, Dexter redirected the blade back into Prado's chest. When George King restrained him, Dexter broke his own hand to escape before snapping King's neck. Even without his famous syringe, Dexter found ways to improvise, once holding the M99 between his teeth until he could jab it into Lila West. His body is a weapon honed through discipline and real combat. Leon Prater, by contrast, stands at 4'5", with no history of hand-to-hand fighting. Yes, he can pull a trigger. Batista's murder proved that. But that shot came from behind while Batista was distracted. Every physical confrontation he has ever faced was handled by Charlie, his ex-special ops enforcer. If Dexter closes the distance, Leon is finished before the fight even starts. Physically, the advantage is overwhelming. Dexter wins this category without question. But physicality is just the beginning. Dexter has taken more than 150 lives across 3 decades. His kills range from the ice truck killer to Trinity, from Jordan Chase to Oliver Saxon. Each one sharpened his instincts, made him faster, smarter, more dangerous. He doesn't just kill, he perfects it with every victim. Leon's personal kill list? One man, Angel Batista. The rest were carried out by Charlie or arranged through bribery. He might surround himself with death, but he doesn't deliver it with his own hands. In a life-or-death moment, experience is everything. Dexter's muscle memory eclipses Leon's theory. That's 2 points to Dexter. Now, intelligence. Here, things get closer. Dexter's brilliance has always been his double life. A forensic expert who could stand at a crime scene he created and convince everyone else he was just there to help. He manipulated investigations, planted evidence, and framed others. He stayed hidden inside Miami Metro for decades. Leon, however, is no fool. He built a billion-dollar empire from nothing, orchestrated secret dinner parties filled with serial killers, and gathered trophies from the most infamous murderers alive. He pieced together Dexter's true identity after careful observation and Batista's testimony. He has contingency plans, backup security systems, and layers of protection. But while Leon's intelligence is built for control and logistics, Dexter's is weaponized for survival. That edge goes to Dexter, though narrowly. Where Leon truly shines is in resources. This man owns entire city blocks in Manhattan, with fortified mansions, biometric security, and armed guards on call. He has the FBI on speed dial, politicians at his fundraisers, and cops who owe him favors. He can bribe prison guards, stage suicides, and bury threats under mountains of cash. Dexter, meanwhile, has lost his Miami Metro safety net. No Masuka running interference, no Deb to protect him. He's back to improvisation, fake IDs, stolen supplies, and his wits. Leon holds the resource advantage, and in a long war of attrition, money and power do matter. But even here, history reminds us, Dexter thrives when stripped down. He dismantled Trinity, Jordan Chase, and Kurt Caldwell, all of whom had resources. Leon may have more, but money can't stop betrayal. And Charlie's loyalty? Not guaranteed. Psychological warfare adds another layer. Dexter is a master manipulator. He convinced Rita he was a heroin addict, manipulated Lila into believing they were soulmates, and fooled entire police departments for years. He pressures confessions out of killers, unnerving them with his calm precision. Leon, however, is obsessed with killers. He manipulates through ego and belonging, hosting dinners that made predators feel seen. But when it came to Dexter, Leon's fascination betrayed him. He idolized the Bay Harbor butcher. That reverence makes him vulnerable. In a battle of minds, Dexter's experience dealing with investigators and fellow predators gives him the advantage once again. Operational security might be the most telling comparison. Dexter perfected his cover for years. He lived a double life, created aliases, faked his death, and built a trophy system that remained hidden until the very end. Leon built vaults behind limestone walls, coded entries, and elaborate systems to hide his collection. For years it worked. But then Dexter infiltrated his circle as Ronald Schmidt, eliminated killers right under Leon's nose, and walked away without suspicion. Leon's empire looked strong until a real predator entered. That's the difference. Leon's system is only secure until someone determined enough breaks in. Dexter's was stress-tested by law enforcement and survived. Dexter wins this category too. But now we come to vulnerabilities, and here the story shifts. Dexter's greatest weakness has never been the police. It has always been his attachments, Rita, Debet, and most of all, Harrison. Every time Dexter tries to protect his son, he makes reckless choices. Harrison is both his strength and his downfall. Leon knows this. He knows the surest way to destabilize Dexter is to threaten his son. Leon's vulnerability is different. His physical limits, his reliance on Charlie, and his ego. He is overconfident, convinced his money can buy safety. That arrogance could cloud his judgment and make him careless. Still, if Leon plays his cards right, Harrison becomes the perfect trap. And that makes Dexter weaker here. So where does that leave us? Physically, Dexter dominates. In killing experience, there's no comparison. In intelligence, Dexter edges out Leon. In psychological warfare and operational security, Dexter is superior. Leon wins on resources and perhaps on exploiting Dexter's emotional weakness. But in the end, what matters most is the fight itself. Dexter's entire life has prepared him for close-quarters execution. Leon's life has prepared him to watch from the sidelines. When the two finally clash, it's the difference between a predator and a collector. One kills, the other pays to watch. Imagine it. Dexter breaches Leon's mansion, slipping past guards, improvising tools, dismantling defenses one by one. Leon hides behind Charlie, maybe even tries to use Harrison as leverage. But Dexter has faced worse. He's taken down killers with arsenals, with cults, with entire cities behind them. Leon's vault of trophies becomes his tomb. And the Bay Harbor butcher adds one more slide to the box. But here's the catch. Killing Leon won't be the end of Dexter's problems. Leon is too rich, too powerful, too visible. His death would spark investigations that money once kept buried. And for the first time in years, Dexter could find the spotlight aimed squarely at him again. Survival in the fight does not guarantee survival in the aftermath. That's the true cost of this showdown. So, who do you think survives? Does Leon's empire finally topple Dexter, or does the Bay Harbor butcher prove once again that no amount of money can stop a predator built for killing? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be watching.
And then I found this video. I pressed play.
He needs to be stopped immediately.
What if I told you the New York Ripper storyline in Dexter? Resurrection is echoing one of the most disturbing true crime cases of the internet age. I'm talking about Netflix's Don't Fuck with Cats, hunting an internet killer.
I wasn't gonna stop until I found him. I've got this fucker.
The documentary that shocked the world by showing how a sadistic killer left cryptic clues online, while an army of obsessed internet detectives tried to hunt him down. Now here's the crazy part. The exact same dynamic is unfolding in Dexter. We have a killer who taunts from the shadows. We have breadcrumbs scattered across scenes. And we have an obsessive fan base, just like the Facebook detectives in Don't Fuck with Cats, piecing together every hidden detail to crack the case.
Thousands of people looking to find this guy. There was a tidal wave of leads that were coming in.
I wasn't gonna stop until I found him.
From Blessing's mom's eerie cat statues, to Gigi's suspicious arm injury, to the whispers that the Ripper's identity might be passed down like a family curse, the connections are too chilling to ignore. And once you see them, you'll never look at Dexter the same way again.
They all have to die. I need to sever all ties to this group as soon as possible. But right now, I have to convince them that I sever innocent people's heads.
The first link between the two stories is performance. In Don't Fuck with Cats, Luca Magnotta staged his crimes like movies. He wanted an audience. He wanted to be infamous. Every object in the background and every poster, every song was a deliberate clue. And Dexter has always been about performance too. Dexter Morgan himself pretends to be a normal dad while secretly killing. The Bay Harbor Butcher was a vigilante performance for Miami. And now, the Ripper's presence feels theatrical, almost staged for an audience. Then there's the obsession of the crowd. In Don't Fuck with Cats, thousands of internet detectives zoomed into screenshots, obsessed over tiny reflections in windows, and spent months piecing together fragments of truth.
But for me, there's a lot of information in there. You see a door, a bed, a table. You see a door handle, a light socket, electrical receptacles.
And those are things that we know can point to like maybe a specific area of the world. Wall sockets in England are different than they are in California.
And that's exactly what's happening in Dexter's fandom right now. Viewers are freezing frames, zooming into props, theorizing about scars, statues, and background details. The show is almost daring us to act like the Facebook detectives, to lose ourselves in the hunt. And then comes the cats. In Don't Fuck with Cats, the killing started with animals. Cats were the symbol, the horrifying gateway. Luca Magnotta's cruelty was first spotted when he targeted kittens online. In Dexter, the writers keep lingering on Blessing's mom's cat statues. Innocent background decoration, or an intentional nod to the same kind of symbolism that revealed Magnotta's dark side? Let's talk about the cat statues because this detail is too eerie to brush off. Blessing's mom's home is filled with them. Rows of glassy-eyed felines staring in silence.
Time for cats. As many of you know, my mother-in-law adored cats. So she just channeled all of that love into collecting.
At first, it just feels creepy. But when you frame it against Don't Fuck with Cats, the meaning shifts. What if these statues aren't just props? What if they represent the Ripper's beginning, a symbolic reminder that every killer has an origin story? Just like Magnotta's crimes started with animals, maybe the statues are Dexter's way of showing that this Ripper began in a household obsessed with cats, cruelty, or superstition.
If this were a dog, it'd be barking at me.
And the show isn't subtle about it. The camera lingers. The atmosphere thickens. It wants us to notice. Think about it. In Don't Fuck with Cats, the online detectives solved the case by obsessing over things no one else paid attention to. A blanket pattern, a cigarette pack, a vacuum cleaner.
But then, holy shit, that's a yellow vacuum cleaner. That's only sold in North America.
The tiniest background detail became the key to catching the killer. So why would Dexter Resurrection keep pointing us toward those statues unless they matter? Maybe the Ripper is tied to Blessing's family. Maybe those statues are trophies. Or maybe they're the key to understanding why the killings stopped. But the most chilling theory of all centers on Gigi. Ever since episode 8, fans have pointed out her arm injury, the kind of scar that looks like it could have come from violence or even a mistake during a kill.
What happened to your arm?
New Year's Eve happened. Some drunk idiot ran my motorcycle. Worst part is the nerve damage left my hand stuck like this.
And here's the strange part. The Ripper's spree stopped 5 years ago. Around the same time, Gigi's life seems to vanish into mystery. Could the injury explain the silence? Did the Ripper stop because they physically couldn't keep going? Or here's an even darker twist. What if Gigi isn't the Ripper at all, but the daughter of the original one? That idea ties directly into Don't Fuck with Cats, where Magnota toyed with the internet by hinting at accomplices, second killers, and phantom shadows working alongside him. It was misdirection, manipulation, and it kept the detectives chasing their tails. Dexter, Resurrection could be pulling the same trick. Maybe the Ripper we fear now is not the one from the past, but the heir to a legacy of violence. If that's true, the Ripper's story becomes generational, a family curse passed down, the same way Dexter's darkness was passed from Harry's code to Harrison. That would make Gigi's role not just suspicious, but inevitable. And here's where it all comes full circle. In Don't Fuck with Cats, the internet detectives became the real stars of the story. The documentary wasn't just about Luca Magnotta. It was about the thousands of people who got sucked into the obsession of catching him. They weren't trained cops, but they acted like investigators, losing themselves in screenshots and wild theories. And right now, that's us. We are the detectives in Dexter. Resurrection. We're combing through every frame, obsessing over props, debating Blessing's family, dissecting Gigi's arm. The writers know it. They're feeding us these details the same way Magnotta fed clues to his audience. And that's what makes it chilling. Because if we're the detectives, we're also the audience the Ripper is performing for. Every clue, every whisper, every cat statue, it's bait. The question isn't just, who is the Ripper? The question is, why are they putting on a show for us? And maybe that's the darkest twist of all. So what do you think? Are the cat statues Dexter's way of pulling a Don't Fuck with Cats on us? Is Gigi the heir to the Ripper legacy? Or is the show daring us to realize we've been the target all along?
This is a much easier way to vet my victims. Time to hear the tale of Rapunzel.
All right, I hope you like my little movie, Mr. Prater. Scary.
It finally happened. Al knows Dexter Morgan's darkest secret. For 7 episodes, we thought Al was nothing more than comic relief. A bumbling serial killer dad with a fanny pack and corny jokes. But in episode 8 of Dexter Resurrection, the truth began to surface. Al isn't clueless. He isn't naive. He knows Dexter killed the entire serial killer club, and he just might be the most dangerous person Dexter has ever faced.
Ponytails, Al's fetish, his need. He's going to kill this woman on camera, and I have to sit here with these monsters while they enjoy every fucking minute of it.
But how did Al, the unlikeliest member of the Killers Club, piece together what even Batista and the Miami police never could? And what does this mean for Dexter's future? Let's break it down. Episode 8 sets the stage with a moment fans almost overlooked. Dexter calls Al, pushing him to meet up after the Hamilton play.
Hey, Red.
Hey, Al.
How you doing? You know, I've been meaning to check up on you.
You wanna grab a drink tonight?
Oh, pal, I would, but you know what? I'm seeing Hamilton tonight.
On the surface, Al plays along. He says he'll be there. But when the play ends, Dexter is outside waiting. And Al never shows.
Rapunzel, Rapunzel, where the fuck are you?
Instead, Al gives Dexter the excuse that he left halfway through.
I'm so sorry, Red. Hamilton, not what I signed up for. You know, it's a rap show. I couldn't understand a damn word they said. Total waste of money. I took off at intermission.
But here's the kicker. The more you look at it, the more it feels like he was never there at all. He didn't flake. He vanished. He slipped away from Dexter entirely, and slipping away from Dexter is almost impossible. Dexter's reaction tells the story. He's furious. Not just disappointed, furious. And then comes the detail that changes everything. As soon as the call ends, Al tosses his phone out the window, cutting all contact with Dexter for good.
Take care of yourself, okay, pal?
That single move isn't random. It's calculated. It's the move of someone who knows exactly what kind of predator is on his tail. For weeks, fans bought into Al's image as a goofy, harmless dad. The guy with cargo pants, a fanny pack, and an endless supply of corny dad jokes. But Episode 8 flips that narrative on its head. Because here's the truth. Al's bubbly personality isn't who he is. It's a mask. Think about it. This man has been hiding in plain sight for years, evading suspicion from his family, his community, and even law enforcement. That's not luck. That's skill. That's calculation. It's the exact same trick Dexter used during his years in Miami. Be friendly. Be relatable. Make people underestimate you. That way, when bodies start piling up, you're the last person anyone suspects. And if Al's cover story sounds familiar, it should. He's almost a mirror image of Arthur Mitchell, the Trinity Killer, a family man, outwardly wholesome, who secretly lives a double life as a murderer.
I was wrong. Trinity's a husband, a father. He's like me.
Fans have been quick to make the comparison, and it makes sense. Trinity was widely considered Dexter's greatest villain. The writers know that. They're deliberately laying the groundwork. And Al's survival in Episode 8 might be the clue that he's destined to play that same role in Resurrection. Because here's the key point. Killers don't survive Dexter. They never have. The table is always final. And yet Al walked away. That alone proves he's more formidable than he first appeared. So how exactly did Al connect the dots? It comes down to 3 critical details. First, he's the last man standing. Every other member of the serial killer club is dead. The pattern is too obvious to ignore, and Al knows it. Second, Dexter pushed too hard. His constant invitations, his insistence that they meet after the Hamilton play, it all set off alarm bells. Serial killers operate on instinct, and Al's instincts were screaming that Dexter was circling in on him. Third, and most important, was Al's reaction. Tossing the phone wasn't just paranoia, it was self-preservation. A final break with Dexter before it was too late. And that act speaks volumes. Al knows he's in danger. The bubbly act? Gone. The clueless smile? Fake. For the first time, we saw the mask slip, and the cold, calculating man underneath. And if Al really knows that Dexter killed the rest of the club, then this isn't just about survival anymore. This is about revenge, about evening the score, and that makes him a threat unlike any other.
They all have to die. I need to sever all ties to this group as soon as possible. But right now, I have to convince them that I sever innocent people's heads.
When Al drove off at the end of Episode 8, it wasn't a goodbye. It was a promise that he'll be back. And when he returns, he won't be the goofy side character anymore. He'll be the villain. Fans are already speculating that Al will become the Trinity figure of Dexter. Resurrection. The family man with a dark secret. The mirror to Dexter himself. And let's be honest, that dynamic is exactly what made Season 4 the greatest in the franchise. If the writers play this right, Al could become Dexter's most dangerous enemy yet. Because unlike Batista or the police, Al doesn't need proof. He doesn't need evidence. He knows the truth. And that knowledge makes him lethal. Think about the stakes here. Dexter has always stayed one step ahead of law enforcement, but facing someone who operates like him, someone who knows how he thinks, how he hunts, how he kills, that's a different battle entirely. And that's why fans are convinced Al isn't gone. He's being set up for a major role in Season 2, a role that could push Dexter into the most dangerous chapter of his life yet. For years, Dexter has lived by one rule: stay invisible. Keep the dark passenger hidden. But Al changes the game. Because Al isn't chasing him with a badge. He isn't chasing him with warrants or evidence. He's chasing him with understanding. Al knows what Dexter really is. He's seen the pattern. He's felt the danger. And unlike cops or detectives, Al doesn't need to play by the rules. He can move in the shadows, just like Dexter. That's what makes this twist so terrifying. For the first time in Resurrection, Dexter isn't just hunted by law enforcement. He's hunted by another predator, one who knows exactly how he thinks. And that's why fans are drawing the inevitable comparison to Arthur Mitchell. Trinity forced Dexter into a war he barely survived, and Al could easily play that same role in Season 2. A family man on the surface, but underneath, a relentless enemy who knows exactly how to strike. So what happens next? If Al really knows Dexter killed the entire serial killer club, then every move Dexter makes from now on is under threat. He can't relax, he can't hide, because Al is out there waiting. And here's the thing: Al's survival wasn't an accident. The writers didn't let him walk away by chance. They've built him up for something bigger. Al might have just gone from comic relief to the single most dangerous threat in Dexter's new life. And that changes everything. So here's the question. If Al really knows Dexter's darkest secret, what's his next move? Does he disappear forever? Or does he come back for revenge, ready to expose Dexter for what he really is? Drop your theories in the comments, and if you're still watching, type Al knows down below so I know who the real Dexter fans are. And remember, tread lightly.